going to look to see if we can grab one trade, 10 pips. And a warm welcome to one and all. And for those of you not seen me before, my name is Langers. I am the coffee obsessed Scruffy trader. And I don't know if you saw some of the videos I did recently. Kind of put an exercise together for the Scruffy squad. And the idea was to teach patience. And one of the ways is what's called the 30-day challenge. And it's a good challenge because not only does it build up your bank account, it kind of teaches you to look for the golden shot. And the idea is you take one trade a day and you look to get between 5 and 10 pips. And once your desired target's hit, that's it. But you do it with one trade. Okay. And the idea of all of that is you're only going to take the perfect setup. All right. So you're not chasing your tail. So I thought I'd start it off for them and have a little look. Now, I don't trade the opens much, if at all. I always wait till sort of after 9. I kind of watch what goes on for a couple of hours. Now, this morning, I've got my eye on the FTSE. There's a couple of reasons why. Because in this sort of challenge, and I'll sort of do the journey with them if you like. 300 quid in a sort of broker and trade it up. Now when you've got £300 you haven't got a lot of room to maneuver with, so you've got to be a bit choosy with your products, and you want one that's not going to give you a margin call, which is why I'm looking at the FTSE. It's relatively cheap. Okay, so I can open that up. It's 50p a position, which is the starting grid of this particular challenge, if you want to call it a challenge, and there'll be enough margin left that it can cover your stop losses, etc. So why am I interested in it in the first place? Well, I work everything out on a strength sheet. We've seen these sort of things before, and for all, this is the currency side up here. In this section I can work anything out. It's a mathematical equation. I put it in and it tells me whether it's sort of selling or buying, and it gives me a bias for the day. But it also, on top of that bias, tells me whether it's slowing down or gaining ground. And ideally I want to be looking for things that are gaining. It's a lot easier to trade though. But it's telling me the FTSE is a sell, but it's slowing down, and it's kind of lost about 42% of its selling power. So that's interesting. It's still on the sell side, but you've got to ask yourself, why is it slowing down? You know, and that's the idea behind it. It raises questions. Rather than just blindly going in and selling, you have to ask why. Well, if we move this out slightly to the hour, you can see it was moving up aggressively. It pushed down, tried to recover, and then sold off. Now that would have given us that sell signal. But the question we have to ask is it going to try and revisit the bottoms again? Or is it turning round? Has it run out of steam? Well, this big long tail here is probably why it's telling you it's slowing down. Right, showing there's a bit of movement back to the upside. However, it's not near a level, so anything could happen. All right, it is starting to find, well, it's found some form of level here, which is the bottoms of this, which marries to the tops of there. So yes, and it's pushing away, and you can see that in the candle as we were speaking. Okay, however, it is still green. So let's drill down a little bit further. You know, well, actually I'll move it up over first. that is a thumper of a drop, all right, and it's probably where all the sell came from. But if you look at it, it's still predominantly red. There's a lot of selling pressure here, all right, but again, there's the tail, all right. So let me go back to the 15-minute so we can see what's going on. Well, there is that level it's found, which is this dip point. At a solid move up, there's a bit of a tail at the top of there, and now it's turning red. Okay, but is it going to try and push up to here? That's the question we've got to ask ourselves. And at this moment in time, go either way. Let's move it down into a 5-minute. See what we're looking at. Well, there's the zones that we're interested in. It's caged. There is a solid move up, and now it is turning round. You have to excuse the dog in the background. We're babysitting my son's dog, and it likes to shout at anything that moves. Bloody nuts. So, what are we looking at here? Well, we're looking for a break either way. If it breaks sort of this area, it has a good chance to be moving up to here, and I'll wait for that. If not, it's kind of the break of this section down here to come back to this. So, and that's kind of what it looks like it's trying to do. So I'm going to keep to the sell side. I'm going to place my order here. Let this come into it and hopefully carry it straight down. Okay. So, just like so. 10 pips onto there. Go. All right. So why is that? It's a logical point to put the order. There is movement to the downside. It's had a push up to try and get here, and it seems to have failed. That candle there tells me that. A lot of indecision, but the sellers won. Why? Well, you can see it. You know, volatility, volatility, volatility. Stopped in its tracks with this candle here. And the buyers were trying to push up. They have failed, turn red, and the next candle is a big body. So that's telling me there's enough in. So I could edge that to the bottom of that candle, just like so. And it means it doesn't have as far to go, because I do think this is possibly going to be coming down to the downside. And it's that simple. That's just a basic analysis and sticking with the bias my sheet had brought out. And that bias is, it's very simple. I mean, if you can't work it out the way I do, just put a moving average on. If it's above, you're buying. If it's below, you're selling. It filters out a lot of the noise. And that's what you're trying to do, because when you're day trading, you can make money both ways. Doesn't matter. Because take this zone here. You could have easily made your pips going down. And likewise, if you had a bias to the upside, you could have made the pips going up. So the actual overall direction was irrelevant at that moment in time when it's in this zone. What you're interested in is the bigger bias of the moment. And for me, it was to the sell side. So I can make money either way. I hope that kind of makes sense. Basically, all you're doing is you're trying to filter out your noise and make your zone in on a particular trade type. Now, for me, I'm looking for this to retrace this move here. Okay. And it also happens to be in line with the sheet, and I only want 10 pips, and the targets is roughly about right. So there we go. That's the general idea, and then I'll do it again the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and hopefully through time it'll build up. So I'll let it play out, and I'll come back to you at the end, because it's just triggered in. Hopefully it won't take too long.
Good job.
Okay guys, there you go. It's cashed out. £5. Result. So what does that all mean? What have we been looking at today? Well, it's very simple. It's about the compounding effect and building up a small account. Now, I had a single idea with a single market, and all I was going to look at today was that one market. And the idea was to be disciplined enough to get what I wanted. So if I flick this back over and pull up a quick sheet, this is what I'm trying to achieve. So the account you're looking at, it's got 300 quid in it. And you've just seen that it's won the first lot, which is a fiver. So I've actually got 305. It's a spread betting account, so there's no commissions. Didn't run overnight, so there's no overnight swaps or anything like that. All right. So my balance is 305. Was it completed? Yes, it was. The market was the FTSE. Nice and simple. Now the time frame. Why am I putting that on there? Because for all you guys who are watching a 5-minute chart, the idea for this trade and what I was looking at was actually the 1 hour. So the idea came from the 1 hour. I was in a reasonably good mood this morning. And what was I looking at? I was looking at a zone to zone with an element of GoldenEye. Now GoldenEye is one of the strategies that I use, and it's based on zone to zone. That is something, and that's it. I am now done for the day completely. So what do? Well, I save that and I do the process again tomorrow, but my bid size will be 55p regardless of what's going on. It's going to be 55p. All right, so that is that. So quite simple. And now I've got the rest of the day to myself. The ignorant one here who always has a back to you.
That's where you put the desk.
What?
Well, you put my desk there, that side, and your desk that side, so we always have our back to each other.
Well, I might want to talk. I do like you. Take your coat off. Are you not scared?
It's freezing out there.
It is. It's cold in here today. It really is. Obviously, I don't feel the cold because I've got my winter coat built in. And talking of things built in, here, I'll show you something. Here, come here. I've got my mentor with me today. Here, come say hello to everybody, you big fat lump. Oh, any other time you want to be up. Yeah, look at this. Great big soft lump. Eh? No, no, no. We're like identical twins, aren't we?
Whoa, both big soft lumps. Sorry.
Well, we know what soft lumps are, won't we? Sorry.
You dirty old man.
We're having a jolly day today. We babysitting the son's dog. Amazing. And who said kids are fun? Nah, they're alright, they're great, Milo. Anyway, that is it. Enough merriment for today. I'll do it all again tomorrow. The idea of these videos is really for the Scruffy Squad to show them the way of how to turn a small amount into a big amount by using patience and dedication. That is it. I know what I'm doing. I look for the trade, waited for the trade, successfully completed, and then I wait till the next day. I don't jump from market to market. I don't chase markets, and I never overtrade. And that is the secret of success. So there we go. So I'll do it all again tomorrow for you. So trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.